welcome back to my channel. Hope you guys are having a great day, night, whenever you're watching this. Today's video is going to be how I make my thumbnails for my channel, and I feel like just recently my thumbnails have actually become better, if that makes sense. Like, they actually cohesively go together, and I think it's because also my Instagram feed is kind of put together now, so those are pretty much taken over after that basically. But they finally have like a look that I actually like, where before I was kind of just messing around and just trying to see what would look good, and I finally found the few fonts that I really like, and it just kind of cohesively works. So I'm gonna go ahead and go in to my phone. We're basically going to be doing the same thing that we did in screen recording my phone and putting it on the screen. This has become kind of like a mini series on my channel, and I don't mean it to be a mini series on here, but it's just kind of what it's turned into, you know. But yeah, I think this is the last one that I'm making, unless you guys have more questions in regards to my channel and everything like that. But I think this is the last part per se of what you guys told me that you guys wanted. So I'm gonna go ahead and screen record now. Okay, so I'm gonna be going to the same editing little folder in my phone. It basically holds all the treasures to everything for my channel. So we're gonna be recreating this thumbnail, and this one I feel like is just pretty, it kind of shows everything that I do for any thumbnail, so that's why we're gonna be using this one, but I'll show you guys as well anything else. So the first thing that I do is I edit the photos as normal. So if you guys do want to see how I edit all of my photos, including the photos in my thumbnail and just in general, I will link that down below for you guys. Go ahead and go watch that first, because that's what we're basically starting with. So once your photos are edited, then we have to put them together to make the actual thumbnail. So I use the app Over, which is this yellow one right here. So I'm going to go ahead and click on there, and we're going to click the plus sign on the bottom, and we're going to click image. Now I already favorited the images that we're going to be using. So for the actual back of, this is where you're going to pick the actual pictures that you want on your thumbnail. Now this is going to be like the main pictures of it. So I chose 3 pictures for this. Normally my thumbnails are only 2 pictures, but this one I did 3. I like to switch it up sometimes. So this one has 3. But you can do 2, 4, however many you want. You can make this as much as you want, however you want. So I'm going to click the one photo. So here's the photo that we edited in my last picture. And I'm going to scroll over until I see the YouTube, and I'm going to click thumbnail. As you can see, this one says channel cover and this one says thumbnail. Make sure you're clicking the one that says thumbnail, and then click the check on the top. Then I'm going to resize this to fit the screen. And now I know that I want it onto one side. Now this is obviously something that you can mess around with after, so I just like to briefly place it, and then we're going to go to images again at the bottom, and you're going to click the other image that you want to import. So here's this one. I know I want this one as well, and then I'm going to add the other one. So I'm going to click the check again. You can still edit, and then the other image that I did was a picture of my Instagram feed. So we're going to go ahead and place that. And I know that when I was doing this, I wanted as much of the feed on there as possible. And then we're going to click the check. Now, for this thumbnail, I wanted the coffee photo to be in the back of these photos. Like, I wanted to show more of the feed and more of the picture of myself. So we're going to go to this second button to the right, where it looks like a stack, basically. And you're going to basically move the coffee photo to the bottom. This is basically the way that the layers are going. So then I'm going to go back, and as you can see, the picture of the coffee is to the back. So this one I'm going to move a little bit. I think I cropped this one actually a little bit, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. So basically you're just going to double click onto the photo, and I'm going to go to crop, go to custom, and then you can just crop some of it off. Since it was just my arm, I just cropped some of it so that it would look a little like better, you know. And then I'm going to click this and adjust this to exactly how I want it to be. And I'm going to move this one a little bit over. I feel like I have... Okay. Like that. So now we have the layout of our 3 photos. Now I'm going to go to this button at the top of my screen, and then I'm going to click save. Once it's saved, we're going to save it to our camera roll, and then I'm going to go into the app InShot, which is the app right next to it. And I'm going to go to photo, and I'm going to click that photo that we want to edit. And this is basically where I use all my texts. So my texts that I have on here don't come with this app actually. This app I highly recommend. I will talk about this app a little bit more later in the video. But basically the actual fonts that I have on here didn't come from this app. Basically what I did is, I'll show you guys, because I know there's going to be questions. So basically I go to Safari and you're going to type in 1001 fonts, and then you're going to click it. And basically I went through here and I picked some fonts that I personally liked. And then, so let's say like this one's kind of cool, you know, like, I mean, you know, everybody has their own preference on fonts. This one's pretty cool, so I'll just use this one to use as an example for you guys. So basically you're going to go to the font that you want to import into the app, and you're going to click download. So it's downloading, give it a second. And then you're going to click download again. And it's going to download at the top right, which is this little button right here, and then you're going to click it. And it's going to be into your files, basically, if you have an iPhone. So once it's in your files, you're going to go back to InShot, and you're going to go to text, and you're going to go to import, and then you're going to click files, because that's where everything is. Okay, so the name of that font was Brotherside Signature, so I'm going to go ahead and click that, and then you're going to click the font itself, and it's going to import successfully. If I could talk, that'd be great. And then as you can tell right here, it's one of the fonts into my actual thing. So that's how I got all of the fonts onto this app. So go onto there. That's the website that I used. I'm not sure if there's other ones on the site, but that's what I used. So yeah, that's how I have all of my fonts. And see, but here's a good just kind of look of all of the fonts that I have. And these are basically all the ones that I use on my videos. Okay, so I'm gonna go and I'm just gonna type out how I edit. If I could type, that'd be, or like spell, that'd be great. Okay, so on here, I know that my two favorite just normal plain fonts are Playfair Display, or Bakervold. Anyways, I know that I use the Bakervold on the original thumbnail, so that's what I'm going to use on here. And then personally, I have a very like white and beige theme basically. So I obviously use white, and then the beige that I use on here is the third to last one. So basically what I did for that photo is I did a white one, and then I basically retyped that out, and then I did that one in that beige color, and then I basically made this one a little bit bigger and overlaid it a little bit so it looked like it had shadow. I think I put the white one actually, so let's do that one. It'll try to center it for you, but I just made it look like it was like going off of the beige back, you know? So that's what this looks like right now. So that's basically how that one looked, but I'm going to show you guys what the other fonts look like so you guys can see that as well. Let me just actually type out my name so that you can see that. So here is Playfield. Here's, I don't even know how to say this. I'll make it a little bit bigger. So there's that one, very calligraphy-esque. There's that one that we just downloaded, Bakervold. This one I don't even know how to pronounce, but it's the text in my intro and my outro. That's the text for that. Here's Cream Candy. Julie, I think that says Julietta Signature. Samantha. Keep on Truckin'. Keep on Truckin' is a very, very popular font here on YouTube. It's a very like aesthetic font that everybody uses, so I have it. I have used it in the past, but it's not my favorite, but it does give a cool look sometimes. Starlight Strip, and I don't even know how to say this, but I'm pretty sure everybody knows what this font is. But yes, okay. So that's what I do. I'm gonna go ahead and redo that so that I can show you guys how I imported the little pictures onto the sides. So just give me 1 second. So I'm just gonna put just a plain how I edit my photos just so you guys can see. So I saved that, and then I'm gonna go back to over, and we're gonna click image, and we're gonna click the. So you don't have to change anything with this because it does have the size that we need already. So we could just click the check mark, and then you're gonna go to image. And personally, I have already favorited these images, but basically how I get stickers onto my thumbnails. So for in this instance, I have the Lightroom little logo and the Facetune logo. In the past fast food iced coffee video, I had the different logos of the different restaurants that I tried. I'm trying to think what else. Oh, for like my editing one, I put the iMovie logo. So basically how you find those is you just go to Google. So we're gonna go back to Google. And for this one, I'll do the Lightroom one since that's what we're using. So basically what I did is you just type in whatever you're trying to find. So in this case, Lightroom. And then I'm gonna put icon, just so that it's just the logo itself. And then you're gonna put PNG. Basically what PNG means is that it's gonna have a transparent background, and you're basically only gonna get that image. It's not gonna have any like extra white or anything. So I believe yes. So then once you find it, then you just save that to your camera roll, and it'll just have that logo. So here's this. And so basically here's just the logo. So make sure it's a PNG. Sometimes when you look up PNGs, it'll still have like the background on it. If that's the case, then I just look up, so in this case, like let's pretend it's the Lightroom, like I couldn't find one. I'd put Lightroom icon transparent PNG so that the background is transparent. So then basically I just put these in the spots that I want them. So there's the Lightroom one, and here's the Facetune one. And I just put them off to the sides. I do put things off to the side a little bit like that. Okay, so that's basically the idea of what I did. I moved the image. That's basically what I did, and then I just saved it. So that is basically all that I do for my thumbnails. It's not that difficult, honestly. I found that the more difficult that I've tried to make my thumbnails, it just makes it so much messier. It just doesn't look as clean. It just doesn't look as like precise. So I have found that basically like how I found with my Instagram theme, the simpler the better with it. So that's how I make my thumbnails. Maybe I'll build up to something more complex. I feel like because thumbnails are so important, it's what really draws a person to your video to click it, if you think about it. Like most of the time I'll search something up, like let's say I search something up, I honestly kind of look at the thumbnails and see which one I like most, because I feel like that is what's going to complement me more, you know? So like a better looking aesthetic thumbnail, it makes people want to click onto it. It's just kind of how it is. So that's how I do that. Now I know I mentioned about showing you guys how I made my intro and my outro. Now those are pretty difficult projects that I did, honestly, that I honestly don't even really kind of remember how to make them. My intro was actually a lot easier because it's just a bunch of photos, so I honestly just made like a slideshow of them, and then just used a tan background and then just wrote my name on it. But for my outro, the layout of it, I had to play around with it and find a whole bunch of different PNGs that I liked. So the Instagram, I'll put up like a picture of my outro right here. The PNG of the actual like Twitter logo and the Instagram logo, I just looked those up the same way that I looked up the Lightroom logo. Same way, did that, and then I just found some PNG of some arrows to put facing. And then the writing on top is just text. And I believe it's the same text that's in my intro, actually, that says my name. That's the same text, which is that same long text that I showed you guys. And basically I just messed around with it to make some layouts. I did look like on Google Images, like YouTube outro templates, because then it shows you how it does it, you know. So that's personally how I made mine. I honestly just kept tweaking it until it looked good to me. My intro, like I said, it was just a bunch of pictures, but I'm going to show you guys kind of a brief how I did that. So basically, for my intro and my outro, I used InShot. This is what I meant by InShot. Is literally such a good app. Like, I use it for so many things. So here's my intro, actually. Perfect. I didn't know that I still had this, actually. That's actually so funny. So for my intro, I caught this clip off of Instagram. This is why you need to talk more. I got this intro clip, the clip of it saying like loading, off of YouTube. I just screen recorded it, and then the rest is images. If you haven't seen my intro, like, it's just a bunch of pictures. And then I just Googled like beige background, and then I just typed out my name. The song itself it's always in my description, the name of it. It's Be There For You. It's on this app for free, and it gives you the copyright thing to copy and paste, which is always in the description of my video. So that's what I did, and then I did film roll for the beginning of it, which is just an effect on this app, and that's basically how I did that. So that's that noise that it does. So that's how I made my intro. This one's a lot easier because it's honestly just a bunch of photos. And then here's my outro. So like I said, I just messed around. The subscribe is a font in here that I just showed you guys. The thank you for watching is, and I just messed around with the little PNGs and then just the arrows. That's how I made my outro. Yeah, I know it's difficult, I know. Basically just make it your own. That app is so helpful though. I really highly recommend InShot. I'll make a list of all the apps that I said in the description because I know it's a lot. InShot is definitely the one that you want. It honestly helps so much. I do it for videos, like editing wise sometimes, and then also just like edit, like it's all where all my fonts are. So I highly recommend that app. But yeah, that's basically all I have for you guys. That's how I make my thumbnails. That's how I made my intro. That's how I made my outro. Those are the apps that I use. And yeah, it's all for my phone. I get a lot of questions on like, it's like, or I get a lot of people saying like, I don't have the equipment for it. I'm like, you have an iPhone. Like, for a while, like, I still do like basically everything on my phone. I just edit on my computer now. But before, I did everything on this little phone. Okay, I edited, I did all my thumbnails, I did like everything. Like, that's like, I edited on here. Editing on your phone is so much harder because it's such a smaller screen and you can't do as much, but that's what I did. So like I said, just start, please. Love you guys so much. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys have any other questions, either link them. I'm going crazy, guys. I gotta go. Please comment them down below, and I will definitely respond to you and help you out with anything. If you need something, and I am finding that a lot of people are asking similar questions, I will make another part to this, I guess, and I'll film that for you guys. But yeah, let me know your questions, because if I hear so many of the same questions, I'll make another part, you know? So make sure to be asking your questions. Love you guys so much. I will see you guys in my Tuesday upload. Keep in mind that on last Tuesday, I said that there was a surprise coming soon. And let's just say, it's coming next Tuesday. So stay tuned. You didn't hear it from me, okay? You didn't hear that from me. I will see you guys next Tuesday. Love you guys so much. Bye.